Okay, but let's talk about this omega-3s.
Sure.
If a person, because there's a lot of interest, and I think rightly so, that people specifically in America lack the omegas, if you will, which are good for your heart health. So people are taking fish oil capsules, krill oil, told to eat oily fish because of the omega-3s, which are good for your heart. How does this compare?
Well, you run the risk of mercury, and it's kind of hard to believe everything you hear. Paper never refuses ink. I say if you can get a plant-based oil that's grown naturally without pesticides, herbicides, or fungicides, I would rather that than chance having mercury in my oil from the ocean, especially with a lot of things that are happening. I would say that you're not going to find an oil that's going to have the balance of these omegas other than hemp oil, because they just don't have it. I have just found people with sickness feel the difference, but I will say if you give the body this oil...
You can't. You'll go to jail. You can't tell the truth. You go to prison. I mean, folks, this is a perfect example. Because Thomas sells hemp products, hemp oil, the nuts, these beneficial, life-enhancing foods, he cannot tell you what they really do. Because if he does, according to the FDA, the food magically changed to a drug. And according to the government, you can't sell a drug without a license, and a drug that's not licensed itself. So do you understand? If it's unbelievable that the government says food, get this, the government says food cannot be used to prevent or cure disease. Well, that's exactly what food does. That's why you eat food, for nutrition, to prevent and cure disease. Anyways, so Thomas, you can't tell people what it really does.
Not really, but I can use this terminology. It works.
Yeah.
It really works in the body, and it tells me with the sales and the reorders that I have, and literally no one has sent anything back and said they didn't like this product. It's never happened.
How long
and I have to tell you one thing.
How long have you been selling the products, by the way?
It's going on 5 years now, and God's really raised me up to do this, to just be the voice crying in the wilderness, telling this is what's being kept from us, Why are we the only industrialized nation that can't grow this food and feed it to our children? Why? Because they're growing a pharmaceutical industry?
Yeah, it's a food.
And they want to pick your pockets before you're in the grave,
It's a food. I expose this in my book, Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. The number one greatest kept secret is that the United States government, in collusion with the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry, wants you to be sick.
Yes.
It keeps it going. Hemp is one food, a plant, that the United States made illegal. And folks, let me tell you something. It's coming to the point where the government is going to make it illegal to own heirloom, non-genetically modified seeds for any product. The government is going to make it illegal to have your own garden. The only seeds that you're going to be allowed to use if you want to grow something is going to be coming from Monsanto or Cargill that's genetically modified with the DNA of pigs and viruses weeded into the seeds. This is where it's going, Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, it's overwhelming. I want to let people know that this product is the most incredible storable food on the planet because it takes up 1/10 of the room of all storable food. It costs 1/5 the price, and it's the most densely nutrient plant on the planet.
So not only the fiber,
right,
but the protein, the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, the cofactors. You could virtually live on this food alone, correct?
Yes, you can, if you had to. And I'm going to tell you something. If you need to get out of your house and you need to have a 14-month food supply, you know what I'd grab, Kev? A 25-pound, 5-gallon pail of hemp powder, and I just have to go find some water. Worst case scenario, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you could bring a 5-gallon, which is a 25-pound pail, I meant to say, but it's a 5-gallon container, and you could literally live off that for 14 months with water.
And obviously, if that's the case, if you add that to your diet and supplement your diet with this type of super nutrition, we hear a lot about superfoods. How does this rank when you compare it against the, quote, superfoods, like, the different berries we hear and the different fruits we hear, the superfoods?
Well, there are a lot of superfoods, but there's nothing more complete than hemp. I think hemp, in my opinion, is the number one food in the world, and that's not because I'm selling it. I'm not on your show to sell product. I'm on your show to wake them up, and if they want to go to the website to educate themselves and purchase, fine. But this is the most incredible food. It will literally bring a homeostasis to the body. It'll balance all of the body systems. It will literally balance because it's loaded with what people are missing: magnesium and potassium, the two main ingredients, the two main minerals that 90% of our population is void of. They can get it in this food.
We've been talking with Thomas James with hempusa.org. Go to ktradionetwork.com. There is a link there. You can go and get all the information on the products available at hempusa.org. And all the hemp products are grown without herbicides, no pesticides, no fungicides. They are not genetically modified. They're naturally grown legally in Canada. And it is probably the most overlooked superfood on the planet. And if you want to supplement your diet with something where you get everything, the fiber, the protein, the nutrients, how is that going to affect your health? Let me tell you something. Americans are probably the most nutritionally depleted human beings on planet Earth.
Absolutely. Richest country in the world and the sickest, Kev.
It's
Kev, we have two other products. Can I mention them?
Yes, please.
Okay. We have the powder, the seeds, the oil, the soft center, which is the center of the seed without the hull, which are absolutely magnificent tasting. Women put them in their mouth. They eat them by the spoonful. They put them on their yogurt. They put them in their hot cereals. They make banana breads with them. That's a big, big, big seller. And then the other product we have is hemp coffee. It's the only hemp coffee right now available. One of the largest beans in the world. It's a AA number 18. It's grown at almost a 6,000-foot elevation. It's a shade tree grown, so we don't push the plant like all the other coffees. They push it to get 3 or 4 pounds out of a plant. We only get 1 pound out of a plant. And we're farmer friendly. But what's nice about it, we bring it back, we roast it to a medium roast in Canada, and we mix it with 25% hemp seed. And what that does is it raises the frequency of this coffee. Usually a cup of coffee, Kev, brings your electrical frequency energy down. Well, this will raise it and affect the right brain and the pineal gland. It'll wake the brain up without palpitating the heart, without making you jittery or nervous, because there's no chemicals in it. There's no monosodium glutamate in it. It's not genetically modified. It's natural. And you can drink 25 to 30 cups of this and feel as calm as if you had nothing.
The coffee itself, is it grown without herbicides and pesticides?
Absolutely, yes. And I could say the word organic, but as you know, I don't like that word because it's abused around the world. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, but the bottom line is it's naturally grown without herbicides, without pesticides, without chemical fertilizer, and it's not genetically modified. Now, technically, that would be classified as, quote, organic, but in some circles, you don't even
It is. I don't like to use the word.
Yeah, it's better than, quote, organic. It's 100% as nature intended. It should be.
Exactly. What's nice about it, a lot of people don't know, this coffee is incredible at keeping disease away because it's got the highest antioxidant level of any fruit or vegetable.